Hello and welcome to another Learning Center video. This one on how to utilize Pronto, the new chat feature in Canvas. First, let's go over how to access Canvas so that we can also access Pronto. So first you want to direct yourself to my.smccd.edu/canvas/ and then log in with your MySMCCD account information. So here, you'll enter in your needed information, enter in your password, and as normal, it should log you in so that you can see your Canvas board. As you can see, this is what most people will probably expect to see on their Canvas page or something like it. And if you notice, we have this sidebar where we have account, dashboard, courses, and etc. But new is this little icon down here with a chat bubble called Pronto. And if we click on that, it'll open up the Pronto chat. And just as easy as that, you can start chatting with the classes that you're taking this semester and any other groups that you've been invited to or are a member of. By clicking on these three lines right here, it opens up a sidebar which allows you to see the different groups you're in. As you can see, I'm a member of a class and a few different groups through the chat interface, as well as having a few direct messages. Now, besides chatting and changing groups, there's not a huge amount of things that you can do in this smaller window. But if you click this video icon here, you can also join meetings similar to Zoom and be able to talk and see members of your group if they also join the meeting. You can start chatting by simply clicking on the chat window and typing in whatever you would like. You can also attach files by clicking this little paperclip here. You can also share emojis, as well as share GIFs if you want to add a little bit of flavor to your messages. It makes it a little bit more casual in Pronto. Now, to access the full features of Pronto, you'll need to go over and click this little box with the arrow popping out of it here. And when we click that, it brings us to the full Pronto page, which will give us some access to a few other features, as well as the ability to create new direct messages and new groups. In this full view, there are a few things of note. You have full access to your sidebar here, including your direct messages and your groups. You have this new plus sign, these three dots over here, which access our group settings, as well as your account settings here. First, let's go over group settings. If we click these three dots over here on the right-hand side, it brings up a huge different number of options and settings. Depending on whether you created the group or not, some of these settings might not be here, but you should be able to at least see the people that are in the group. You should be able to control the notifications that you receive, and most importantly, probably for most students, you'll be able to see the media that has been shared in the group. Now, why the media part of group settings is so important is that in any of your chats, if you select the correct group, any photos or videos, links, files, or records of your meetings will appear here. So you never have to worry about, where was that message? I know that my professor posted the prompt in Pronto, but I'm not sure where it is. The files will be here. No matter where they are in the chat, the files should all show up here. The links should show up here. The photos and videos should show up here. So this can be a very useful tool for classes, or even if you're just doing study groups, or even if you're doing group projects, especially because you'll be able to put everything in the chat and be able to easily find it here. Your account settings are also worth going over. So if you go over here and click on this cog, it will bring up your account settings. As you can see, there are some useful options here. Maybe most importantly, if you don't want to get woken up early in the morning with a message notification, is the ability to turn on Do Not Disturb and silence all notifications that you would get. Here, you can also change what notifications that you can get. You can see what groups that you've hidden, submit feed. You've probably noticed by now that I've skipped over language and translation. That's because I wanted to go a little bit deeper into this setting. So let's take a look. As you can see, you can select a preferred language. Currently, English is set as the default, but if we click this drop-down list, you can see there are many languages to choose from as your preferred language. You can also select other languages that you understand. Now, why this is an important setting is because you can set instant translation so that new messages from other users will be automatically translated into your preferred language. So, if you speak other languages and you would like to have it translated, you can set your preferred language to that language and it'll automatically translate any message that you receive in any of your groups or direct messages. Now, one last very important aspect of Pronto that I'd like to share with you is what happens when we click on this plus button over here, which you'll see is called Actions. When we click it, this is what brings up what we're able to do in Pronto as far as creating a group, directly messaging somebody, creating a task, or entering a group code so that we're able to join other groups. To begin, let's click on Create Group. When you click Create Group, this is the screen that should come up. You can name the group, you can make it as part of a category, which is usually one of your classes, and then you have the choice to add people. So for instance, we could call this Study Group Bio 215, and then we would be able to add people. Now when you click Add Users, this small window will come up, and you can click different options for filter. You can also search for individuals within that filter. So if we click this drop-down list, you'll notice that there are 3 different options. There's Entire Organization, which is basically anyone who's a member of Canvas. Anyone who's on Canvas is connected to Pronto, and you should be able to contact just about anybody through this option. Connections is anyone in all of your groups. So it's one pool of all the classes that you're in, or any other groups that you're a member of. And then third is you can search independently within specific groups. Say if you were to invite a few people from your class to do a group study session. You would then use this one to search within the class specifically. Now once you select the people that you'd like to add to your group, you can then add them. And once you have the people that you have added, as you can see you can add more people, you can click Create Group to create the group. Now, moving on to the next option under Actions, you can also direct message. Similar to groups, you can filter by groups, connections, and the entire organization to look for the person that you want to direct message. Once you find the person that you want to direct message, all you need to do is click on their name, and it will immediately start the chat to directly message with them. Especially concerning groups, there's one thing else to cover really quickly. When you click Actions, you'll also notice there's an Enter Group Code. So, if you receive a group code from someone else, you can enter it here to be able to join the group. If you click on one of your groups and go back to the settings that we discussed earlier, you can see that there is a group codes option if you are the one that created the group. Here, then, you can create a group code that you can send out instead of having to invite individual people. You can just send out a code and they can join the group if they have the code. One very important thing, also worth mentioning, is if we click back under People, you'll notice that there's a little plus sign with a person outline here. And if you click on that, that will allow you to add more people and invite more people to the group. So you don't have to worry about making sure everyone's in the group when you first create it. You can always invite more people later. Now finally, back in the Actions options, there's also the Create Task option. Now, this can be very useful for yourself to be able to create tasks, make sure that you set things due, get assignments due on time, but this can also be very useful if you need to do any sort of group project or any sort of accountability thing like that, because you can create tasks that you can assign to other people who are members of your groups or that you're connected with. You can also set reminders for certain dates and times to make sure that you work on it at a certain time. And you can also attach things to the task if there's instructions or once you complete the assignment. You can also add notes here if there's anything you need to put insofar as instructions, or even just a note for yourself to make sure that you're doing exactly what you wanted to be doing. Now, I think that covers the bulk of what Pronto has to offer us here at Skyline, and I'll hope that you'll use this new tool to be able to chat with your professors, be able to chat with your classmates, build new connections, build study groups, and be able to use this as a really powerful resource for you as a student. My name's Scott McMullen. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a good day.